What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video and another viewer request. And today we have Caradora, Heart of Alacria, or Alacria. I don't know how to pronounce that, friends. Never heard it said aloud. But before we get into it, if you like my daily deck techs, or Magic for the Working Class, or Historical Commander, my discussion content, anything else in between, feel free to subscribe, but only if you feel I've earned it. And if you'd like to see your commander made into a deck tech, feel free to drop it in the comments down below, fill out the Google form in the video description, or reach out to me on Discord or anything like that. I'm more than happy to help, and I will respond. I've gotten a few people who are just absolutely flabbergasted that I've responded to either their Facebook message or their Discord DM or an email, and I'm more than happy to do so. So long as there's breath in my lungs and I'm not inundated with like thousands of emails, I will be able to help and respond as needed. So now, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? We have ourselves Caradora, and she's a 4/2, or I should say they're 4/2, for 2 generic and Selesnya. And when Caradora enters, you may search your library for a mount or a vehicle card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. If one or more 1/1 counters will be put on a creature or vehicle you control, it hardens scales, so it puts that many +1 on instead. Now, they're a mount and vehicle commander. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not the most experienced mount or vehicle player. I do have like a couple vehicles here and there in a very few decks, and I have approximately 0 mounts amongst my 80-something commander decks. However, I do understand how they work, and I think that they're interesting. I just have never gotten around to building one with it. And so we're going to be focusing on vehicles today because I do like some of the vehicles a lot. And so how are we going to do that? Well, we have a supporting cast. We have 22 creatures today. We have Absent Falconer. It has Outlast, so you can pay a white and tap it to put a 1/1 counter on it, and you can only do it as a sorcery, and each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on is flying. It's pretty strong. We do have some mana dorks in Avacyn's Pilgrim, Elvish Mystic, Land of War Elves, and technically Kami of Whispered Hopes, which of course this one is, if one or more 1/1 counters would be put on a permanent you control, put that many +1 on instead. And then there's Rishkar. When it enters, you put up 1/1 counter on up to 2 target creatures, and each creature you control with a counter on it has tap, add a green. So there we go. We have ourselves a Conclave Mentor. Guess what? You guessed it, a Hardened Scales effect. If one or more 1/1 counters would be put on a creature you control, you put that many +1 on instead. And it's when it dies, you may gain life equal to its power. I also very much enjoy the Selesnya art style. I really like their like plant aesthetic for the armor. It's beautiful, beautiful. Harmony with nature, friends. Duskshell Crawler, a 0/3 for 2. When this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has Trample, which buffing up your creatures by giving them Trample and things like that is always nice. We have Amara, Soul of the Accord. She's a 2/2 for 2, and whenever she becomes tapped, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. Now, you might be wondering, well, she's really small and dorky and will just die in combat. Well, for crewing, you tap creatures with power and toughness to crew things, right? And so you're going to use her to crew, which is going to poop out little dudes, which can also help you crew other things. Very good. Good Fortune Unicorn. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. Always fun. Halia, Ascendant Cadet. It's a 3/3 for 5. I also very, very much enjoy the aesthetics of Edge of Eternities. It is sweet. But whenever she enters or attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control with a 1/1 counters on them deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Always good. I'm going to go over 2 cards at the same time now, and that's going to be Illustrious Wonderglyph and Tendershoot Dryad. They are pretty much the exact same card, just one is in white and one is in green, and Tendershoot Dryad produces Saprolings, and Illustrious Wonderglyph produces Gnomes. They both have Ascend, so once you have 10 or more permanents, you have the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. Then they both have an ability that buffs the things that they make by 2 when you have the City's Blessing. So at the beginning of each upkeep, not just your own, you're going to poop out a gnome or a sapperling, and then once you have the City's Blessing, other artifact creatures you control get +2/+2, or in the case of Tendershoe, other sapperlings get +2/+2. Very good overall. We have Interface Ace. He's a little pilot, and he has this creature saddles and mounts crews and vehicles using its toughness rather than its power, so it's going to count as 4. Whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it. This ability triggers only once each turn. This is really cool because you're going to be able to crew 2 things for 4, which is really, really good in a vehicle stack. We have Kona, Rescue Beastie. This card, I remember when this card was revealed and people were like talking this card up to be super, super busted. And although I do think it is still really fun and good, it has definitely not lived up to the hype as evidenced by its price. But survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if Kona is tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So use Kona to crew something, and then you get to put out another vehicle or creature, or even a land on your second main phase. We have Kutzel. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn, and whenever one or more creatures you control with power greater than its base power deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. Card advantage is always good. Legorin, Soul of Alacria. Whenever Legorin attacks while saddled, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target mounts and or vehicles. Now, this is our saddle creature here. It saddles 1, tap any number of other creatures you control with power 1 or more. This mount becomes saddled until end of turn. You can saddle only as a sorcery. We have Miriam, Herd Whisperer. As long as it's your turn, mounts and vehicles you control have hexproof, which is always good. And whenever a mount or vehicle you control attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Also very good. Also, that horse is adorable. Whoever, Vico Menezes, you did a great job with the art on this. I'm a massive Magic the Gathering art appreciator. And then we have Nakia, Wakandan Operative. She's a 3/3 for 3, and whenever your commander enters, you become the Monarch, which is always nice. Has reach, and you can tap 2 to put 2 1/1 counters on target creature or vehicle. Activate only as a sorcery. Just good utility there. Ovia, Automech Artisan. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample, and then you can essentially Elvish Piper kind of thing here. You pay a green, tap it. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact on the battlefield this way, put 2 1/1 counters on it. So you're going to Elvish Piper a vehicle into play. We already went over Rishkar. Shrewd Storyteller, survival at the beginning of your second main phase. If Shrewd Storyteller is tapped, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Always nice. Strom, whenever you cast an Aura equipment or vehicle spell, draw a card. Card advantage good. For our sorceries, most of these are going to be ramp. We've got Cultivate, Farseek, Rampant Growth. We do have the 1/1 counter Paradigm card from Secrets of Strixhaven that puts 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control every main phase. Tune up, return target artifact or creature. Artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's a vehicle, it becomes an artifact creature. Always good. From Father to Son. Search your library for a vehicle card, reveal it, put it into your hand. If the spell is cast from your graveyard, put it onto the battlefield instead, and shuffle. One last job. You're going to use this to return a mount or a vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield, but you can always spree it for more stuff. And then stand by. I cannot read Japanese. We have Requisition Raid. You can spree it, of course. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. Target yourself. For instance, we have Defend the Rider. You can either have a permanent gain hexproof until end of turn and indestructible, or create a pilot. When it saddles a mount or crews a vehicle, its power counts for 2 greater, which is always good. So it'd count for 3. Heroic Intervention, Classic Protection, same with Unbreakable Formation. Inspiring Call, draw a card for each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Those creatures become indestructible until end of turn. And then run over. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a mount or vehicle you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to creatures opponents control. Now for the main meat and potatoes. It took a while to get down here because on Moxfield, it goes creatures, sorceries instance, and then artifacts. So for artifacts, let's go over the vegetables first. We have Arcane Signet, Celestia, Soul Ring, and Talisman of Unity for mana rocks. We have the Earth Crystal, which cheapens our green spells and does stuff with counters. And then we have a billion vehicles. We have Goliath Truck. I'm not going to go over the crew cost on all of these. I'm just going to go over what they do in their power and toughness because, there's a million of them. But Goliath Truck is a 4/4 for 4, and whenever Goliath Truck attacks, put 2 1/1 counters on another target attacking creature. Always good. Warhammer 40k card. Head Shredder. This thing is disgustingly good. It's a 5/5 for 4 that whenever it attacks, you may mill 2 cards, and whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped. This one is super, super easy to crew to. It's at 1. Imperial Recovery Unit, 3/4 for 3. Whenever it attacks, return target creature or vehicle card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Not bad. Lumbering World Wagon. Holy art, Batman. It's a star 4 for 3. Its power is equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever it enters or attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Nautiloid Ship. This one's super duper expensive. I did not realize this. Mine is just chilling, and I just never used it. It's a 5/5 for 4 flying, and when Nautiloid Ship enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may put a creature card exiled with Nautiloid Ship onto the battlefield under your control. Perhaps I should be putting this in my Saruman deck because it works on manipulation and theft. Reaver Titan, 10/10 for 7. Void Shields. Protection from mana value 3 or less, and Gatling Blaster. Whenever Reaver Titan attacks, it deals 5 damage to each opponent. Royal Talon Fighter Jet. So this is an X casting cost vehicle. It's a 1/1 for double white and X flying, and it enters with X 1/1 counters on it. Whenever it enters or attacks, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to the number of 1/1 counters on it. So you can just poop out a million dudes with it. We got Smuggler's Copter, 3/3 for 2. Flying. Whenever it attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card, so loot. The Regalia. Haste, 4/4. Whenever the Regalia attacks, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Getting lands is good. Thunderous Velocipede is a 5/5 for 3. Trample. Each other vehicle and creature you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it if its mana value is 4 or less. Otherwise, it enters with 3 1/1 counters on it, which is really nice. And then the Weatherlight, 4/5 for 4. Flying, and whenever the Weatherlight deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them. Put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Of course, historic are legends, artifacts, sagas. And then unidentified hovership, flying, and whenever unidentified hovership enters, exile up to 1 target creature with toughness 5 or less. When it leaves the battlefield, exile the exiled card's owner manifests dread. Enchantments. I did throw the OG Mirari's Wake in here. It gives all your creatures +1/+1, which is always good for the crewing purposes. Plus, I do like tapping my mana for more. Wild Growth and Utopia Sprawl for a ramp. We have Branching Evolution, Hardened Scales. These are going to help get more counters on things. Same with Innkeeper's Talent. We have Felidar Retreat, so landfall, put either a cat into play or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. We have Tale of Katara and Toph, which is creatures you control have whenever this creature becomes tapped for the first time each turn of your turns. Put a 1/1 counter on it. And Sphere Grid, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. And creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them have Reach and Trample. Then for lands, Fancy Pants lands I threw in here for help as Abandoned Air Temple and Gavany Township. These will each put counters on your stuff. We have Adagia to make copies of your stuff. You could also probably throw a Vendo in here, like the Gaia's Cradle we have at home. I just didn't do it in this one. But Adagia makes copies of artifacts or enchantments, except for it makes them legendary, which is neat. Karn's Bastion is in here. We have Country Roads to take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia. Mama, take me home. Country Roads. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't not do it. But it enters tapped unless you have a mount or a vehicle, and then you can tap and sacrifice it to create a pilot where it crews as though it were 2 greater. And then there's a green card, Wild Roads. There you go. Wild Roads does the same thing, but in green. And then I even had enough to keep this around. Thank God that Celestia is super cheap for lands, because Temple Garden's $10, right? Sungrass Prairie, like all of their lands are pretty cheap. So I managed to throw in a bunch of the nice little good lands in here, right? And that's the build. Let's go ahead and take a look at how Moxfield's going to treat me today. Also, friends, this is a side note. This has nothing to do with it. But I did go to the Hobbit pre-release last night. And although it did not fit in my pool, I got this really cool foil Thrundil out of my pre-release packs. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was super excited about that. But let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. You know what? We're doing it. Draw for turn. We don't have a 1-drop, so we're going to throw this Temple Garden in to play tapped. We're going to throw down a Sun Petal Grove. I'm going to Farseek on my turn. Get to search for a plains or a forest. And remember, this one doesn't have to be basic, so I'm looking for very specific. Damn it. Where are you, Surveil Land? There, Lush Portico. It'll enter. Get to Surveil. We're gonna just leave that on top there. Next turn we get to draw it. I'm gonna go ahead and we are gonna play Thunderous Velocipede. Each other vehicle and creature you control enters with an additional 1 counter unless if its mana value is 4 or less. Otherwise, it enters for 3, which is pretty neat. Next turn, we're going to draw. I am going to go ahead and play Country Roads to take me home. I'm not going to keep going. I promise. I am going to play Caradora, though. So when she enters, you may search your library for a mount or vehicle card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. If 1 or more 1/1 counters to be put on a mount or vehicle, you put 2 on instead of view your library. Let's go ahead. What do we want to get? Nautiloid ship's a little early. There's probably not going to be a whole lot. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab the Royal Talon Fighter Jet. Put it into my hand. Next turn, we have 2 or more opponents. We're going to put this down. And I'm going to play Strom. Pretty good, pretty good. Next turn, we're going to draw. I'm going to put a Wild Roads down. And then I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to cast Royal Talon for 4. Its mana value is 6, so it's 2 plus that. So it's going to get 3 1/1 counters on it, which means it's going to get 4 1/1. Well, it's going to come down with the 4 that I paid for, plus the 3 for Thunderous Velocipede, plus the 1 from Caradora. So it's going to come down with 8. And it enters with X1/1 counters on it. When it enters, we get to create a bunch of dudes. So where are our little soldier dudes? Are these the 1/1 white soldiers? We have 1,000,000 soldiers. And, you know, it only crews for 2, which is pretty good. And we get to draw a card off Strom. Next turn, we're going to drop a forest. I am going to drop this down. Sorry. This little Good Fortune Unicorn. I then am probably going to play Smuggler's Copter. I am going to crew. Oh, I get to draw a card off of Strom. I'm going to crew my Royal Talon Fighter Jet up here. And look, he attacks. I get to add another 8 soldiers. This is important. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. So each of these 8 soldiers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each of these 8 soldiers is going to come into play with 2 1/1 counters on them. Yeah. Oh, this came in with 2 counters on it as well. There you go. Oh, this also came in with 2 counters as well. Pretty gross. So, we're attacking in the air for 9 here. Yeah. Next turn, we probably win. Right? Like, just look at how much stuff we have. I'm going to play the Weatherlight. It's going to come into play with 2 1/1 counters. I draw a card off Strom. I'm going to play Kutzel. It's going to come into play with 2 1/1 counters. Oh, more than 2, because this... Oh my god, it's 3. Jesus Christ. See, this is why I don't play Cathar's Crusade, friends. I hate having to track this many counters. And let's go ahead and crew. We're going to crew the Smuggler's Copter. We are going to crew our Royal Talon Fighter Jet. All of these, by the way, should have 3. Because they would come in... no, yeah. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they should come in with... These should have 3. I'm stupid, okay? Set counters. 3. There we go. So we attack. We attack. We attack. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 4/4s are coming at people, plus this, which is gonna dump. Oh my god, so many more. Another 8 dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which are also each gonna have 3 counters on them. Well, these are separate triggers, so they might be 4. I don't know. My brain stopped working 5 minutes ago into this deck. This is what it does. It seems pretty fun. You're going to overrun your opponents. The Royal Talon Fighter Jet is disgusting. Yeah. There you go. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.